Return values. Return values of functions are one of those things where Python is ahead of most other languages. Functions are usually allowed to return one object, a value, but in Python you can return a tuple, and this implies that you can return whatever you want. This feature allows a coder to write software that would be much harder to write in other languages, or sometimes more tedious. We've already said that to return something from function, we need to use the return statement, followed by but whatever you want to return. There can be as many return statements as needed in the body of the function. On the other hand, if within the body of a function we don't return anything, or we invoke the bare return statement, the function will return none. I want to create a new file called return none.py. I want to create a new function called func, like this, and I want to say pass. I want to execute that function. I want to call it func a equal to func, and later I wanna print a variable a. Now I wanna execute it. Chapter 4. I wanna say print return. I will see the none. In other languages, we would probably just indicate that with a pair of a curly brackets, which define an empty scope. In other languages, we would probably just indicate that with a pair of curly brackets, which defines an empty scope, like this, something like this. Okay, an empty function. But in Python, a scope is defined by an identity code. By identity. In other languages, we would probably just indicate that with a pair of curly brackets, which define an empty scope, something like this. But in Python, a scope is defined by indenting the code. So therefore, a statement such as pass is necessary. Now, let's talk about returning multiple values. Unlike in most other languages, in Python it's very easy to return multiple objects from a function. This feature opens up a whole world of possibilities and allows you to code in a style that is hard to reproduce in other languages. Our thinking is limited by the tool we use. Therefore, when Python gives you more freedom than other languages, it's actually boosting your own creativity as well. To return multiple values is very easy. You just use tuples, either explicitly or implicitly. Let's look at a simple example that mimics the bit mode built-in function. Something like this. I want to create a new file called return multiple by. Return multiple.py. I wanna define a new function called moddiv, like this, a b. I wanna return a divided by b, comma a mod b. Okay. Now I wanna print moddiv. I wanna divide 20 over 7. Let's execute it, and what happened if we execute it? Okay, return multiple.py. Okay, and you got 2 and 6. Because the entire division between 20 and 7 is 2, and the mod, which is the what is left in that division, is 6. To 2 times 7 is equal to 14. 14 minus 20 is 6. Okay, 20 minus 14 is 6. That's the reason you've got 6 there. Now let's talk about recursive functions. When a function calls itself to reproduce a result, it is said as recursive. Sometimes recursive functions are very useful in that they make it easier to write code. Some algorithms are very easy to write using the recursive paradigm, while others are not. There is no recursive function that cannot be rewritten in an iterative fashion. Okay, and so it's usually up to a programmer to choose best approach for the case that can. The body of recursive function usually has two sections, one where the return value depends on a subsequent call to itself, and the other one where it doesn't, called the base case. So for this subject, I want to create a new file called recursive factorial.py. There I want to define a factorial function, and I want to say I want to receive an n value. I want to say if n in 0, 1 return 1, else, or just in other case, return factorial n minus 1, okay, which is the recursive. Of course, we need to indent this code. As you can see here, this part is the recursive case, okay? This is here's the base case. So I wanna call factorial. I wanna say factorial 9. Let's try recursive factorial.py. Of course, we need to print. Of course, here and we need to times n. Don't forget it. Okay. I wanna print it. Let's see. Okay. Let's try with a number, a short number like 4. So how factorial works? How does factorial work? So you need to we choose 4 factorial, so it's multiplying 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 that is equal to 24, where is we've got here 24. Check here that the factorial of 1 is only 1. Okay, that's the reason we've got the base case here. If n is in 0 of 1, we multiply by 1. In other cases, just use a recursive code. Anonymous functions. One last type of function that I want to talk about are anonymous functions. These functions, which are called lambdas in Python, are usually used when a fully fledged function with its own name would be overkill, and all we want is a quick, simple one-liner that does that job. Imagine that you want a list of all the numbers up to n that are multiples of 5. Imagine that you want to filter those out using the filter function, which take a function and an iterable and construct a filter object that you can iterate on. From those elements on iterable for which the function returns true. Without using an anonymous function, you would do something like this. I'm gonna create a new file called filter regular, okay? filter the regular dot pi. So we were talking about a list of numbers up to n that return multiples of pi. So I'm going to define def is multiple of pi, very descriptive. It will get n as a parameter, return not n mod phi. Okay, then I want to say def gets multiple of 5 and I'm gonna return a list of filter is multiple of 5 well, is multiple of 5 range n. Let's execute it. I'm gonna call print gets multiple of 5 and I'm gonna pass, I don't know, perhaps 100. Okay, let's execute it. Find filter regular like this, and you've got every single number which is divided, which is multiple of 5 till 100. Okay. Okay. Note here the how you use is multiple of 5 here to filter the first n numbers. It seems a bit excessive. The task is simple. We don't need to keep the is simple of 5 function around for anything else. Let's rewrite it using a lambda function. So I want to create a filter dot lambda phi. Okay, filter dot lambda dot pi. I want to create a new file called def get multiples of 5. I'm gonna receive n, and now I'm gonna say return a list of numbers and filter. So we need the filter here in the first parameter. Okay, you note which is a lambda k, not k mod 5. Okay, in the second parameter, the range of numbers, I'm gonna pass n. Now I wanna print get multiple of 5 100. So I wanna execute it. Filter dot lambda dot phi, and you got the same result as the previous file, previous execution. If you wanna compare them, I'm gonna separate into parts, something like this, and remove the other files. And you see that the only function that was removed is the is multiple function, is multiple of 5 function. It was replaced by a lambda function, which is okay.